All right, people, I don't really cover news here, but we have 3 pieces of exciting Falcom information to talk about today. We have confirmed platforms and a release window and publisher for the Trails in the Sky remake. We have a release window for that game now, which is really exciting, as well as some new gameplay. It looks absolutely incredible. We have a new version of Ys X that was announced at their shareholder meeting, as well as another Ys game getting a Switch version. I wanted to talk about all that today, so let's get into it. Alrighty, people, welcome back to the channel. Its-A-Mii here. Wanted to cover this news over here instead of on the main channel because I think my Its-A-Mii audience appreciates the JRPG content more. But we had 3, I would say, major pieces of information regarding Falcom games last night during their shareholder meeting. We'll start with the most exciting and then kind of go towards the lesser exciting things. So, starting off, Trails in the Sky, first chapter. That is the official worldwide name for that game. I think in Japan it's still called The First, so it's Trails in the Sky, The First. However, interestingly, they're dropping Legend of Heroes from the title, which is an interesting branding choice, but it says here, Trails in the Sky first chapter launches in fall 2025 worldwide for PS5, Switch, and PC. There was a lot of debates within the community on whether or not this game would actually be a Switch exclusive because it was announced in that Switch partner showcase back in August, and Switch was the only confirmed platform. At that point, Falcom didn't say anything about who was publishing the game and what platforms it would be releasing on. They just, showed up in that little montage with a 20-second teaser and then dipped out and didn't, elaborate. Right? They just pieced out. So we now have a lot more information regarding this release. It says here, Trails in the Sky first chapter, formerly the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the First, will launch for PS5, Switch, and PC via Steam as a simultaneous worldwide release in fall of 2025. Now, I'm newer to the Trails series in terms of following it. Someone in the comments can let me know. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've ever seen a worldwide release for a Trails game, which is so exciting, and hopefully when we talk about Ys X Proud Nordics in a few moments, hopefully, we can get to that point with Ys eventually. The game will be published by Gung Ho Online Entertainment in the West with English and Japanese voiceovers and English, Japanese, French, and German subtitles. It is a full remake of the original story RPG Trails in the Sky. Here's the little press release they put out. It says, Trails is a story RPG series that celebrated its 20th anniversary in 2024. To mark this significant milestone, the first entry in the series, The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, is being fully remade. I believe it's pronounced Liberal Kingdom. The setting of the story has been fully recreated in 3D, and all of the distinctive characters, including Estelle and Joshua, have been refined, in addition to exhilarating and stress-free combat, which allows seamless switching between the 2 battle modes of field action and command battle. Each character's crafts and arts are on a dynamic display. While maintaining the scenic image of the Liberal Kingdom, the game includes a variety of quests and numerous side activities that allow players to fully experience the feeling of traveling across the kingdom from their own perspective. After their father Cassius goes missing, Estelle and Joshua embark on a journey across Liberal Kingdom. Along the way, they will meet and part with new companions. What awaits them at the end of their journey? A classic reborn for everyone to enjoy. Stay tuned for more information on Trails in the Sky the First, the story that started off the Trails saga. So, this game looks absolutely incredible. This remake looks so well done. I'm new to the series, right? Like, I'm new to Falcom in general. Ys X is the first time I've really played a Falcom game. I have not played any Trails games. However, I'm so happy this is finally happening because I've known, for years, this is a series I need to get into. So I've been waiting for a remake of the first game, or at least an easy way to play these first couple of games in the saga. I know people say, oh, you can start with Cold Steel, you can start with Daybreak. No. I'm not doing that. It's a trap. I'm not going to do it. So, yeah, I could play it on Steam, but also I use a Mac, so not really, actually. So I've been waiting for the first games to come to console, and now that we have this beautiful-looking remake coming next year, that's just so exciting to me. It visually just looks so good. I'll definitely be playing this on PS5, but, it is nice that they have PS5 and Steam confirmed for this as well, right? I know there were people convincing themselves it was not going to come to anything else. To that, I would say, well, yes, they announced it in a Nintendo Direct, and that's a first for Falcom. On the other hand, every game has been on PlayStation, so it would have been really weird if this game didn't come to PS5. The choice of publisher Gung Ho Entertainment, or Gung Ho Online Entertainment, is interesting because I saw a post on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. Apparently, a lot of the old staff at Xseed are actually now over at Gung Ho, which is exciting because Gung Ho was also involved in Grandia HD, and I believe they're involved with the upcoming Lunar Remastered Collection coming next spring. So, Gung Ho is now a publisher we need to start paying attention to. If they're getting Grandia and Lunar, and they're doing Trails, to some extent, right? We'll see how this continues. Will NIS America keep doing the modern titles? Probably. We'll see how this all goes, but it is nice that they picked up a publisher, and it's getting a worldwide release next year with English VO. That is incredible. I cannot wait for this game. Definitely one of my most anticipated of 2025. But something else was announced last night that I find mildly extremely frustrating. So, like I said, I'm new to Falcom. I don't think they've ever really done this before, except for, unless you want to count Ys 8 on Vita coming to PS4, had some new content there. They're pulling an Atlas on us. They are releasing an upgraded version of Ys 10. It's called Ys 10 Proud Nordics, and it's releasing in 2025 in Japan. Now, I think this stings a lot more for the Western audience because Ys 10 Nordics just came out in October for us, whereas Ys 10 came out, I want to say it was like late last year for Japan. So the game's already been out for well over a year in the country where this game's audience mostly is. So I think for a lot of fans, this wouldn't be an issue. However, for the Western fans and maybe the more casual fans, right? It's like, well, I just finished Ys 10 not even a full month ago. And now we have a Persona 5 Royal situation here where we're getting a new version that is going to improve gameplay elements and add a bunch of new story stuff, and that's launching in 2025, and I really don't know how to feel about it. I liked Ys 10 quite a bit. It's my first time playing an Ys game all the way through, and I want to go back and play the other ones. I just don't know if I care enough to play this again. I feel a little betrayed, quite frankly. It's not that serious, but reading through this Gamatsu article here, they say Falcom has announced Ys 10 Proud Nordics, a significantly upgraded version of Ys 10 Nordics, featuring a new story, new setting, and numerous new elements. It will launch in 2025 in Japan. Platforms were not announced. I think that's, before we read the press release, I think that's another aspect of this that, to me, makes it more confusing. If this were announced after the Switch 2, like, fine. I'd be all in on it. Like, that makes so much sense. You want to have an upgraded version for the Switch 2. That makes sense. But while platforms were not announced, obviously it's going to come to PS5. You assume maybe it skips base Switch and then comes to Switch 2, but honestly, it'll probably come to base Switch as well as Switch 2. The fact that platforms were not announced, that to me reads as, this is mostly going to be a Switch 2 thing. Like, this is for the Switch 2. But to announce it now before they can say it's a Switch 2 game just feels a little weird. I mean, you're announcing a Persona 5 Royal version of your game, essentially, and not confirming platforms. That, to me, it's just a little weird. Granted, we don't know when the Western release of this will be. That's what I was saying earlier with Trails. It's nice that Trails may be getting closer and closer to having consistent worldwide releases for their new titles. We'll have to see what happens after the Trails in the Sky remake. But Ys, hopefully, we'll get to that point eventually, but with Ys 10 Proud Nordics, I don't think that's going to happen here. The press release says, with pride in our hearts, set off on a new adventure. Ys 10 Proud Nordics will launch in 2025 in Japan as a significantly upgraded version of the action RPG Ys 10 Nordics, featuring a new story, new settings for adventure, and numerous new elements. Åland Island is a massive island located to the north of Obelia Gulf, in the midst of battling the immortal creatures known as the Grieger. The red-haired adventurer Adel and the pirate princess Karja visit the island and encounter countless ruins on its unexplored lands. What happened on this island? An encounter with another mana user leads Adel and his companions on an unknown adventure. In addition to the exhilarating offensive and defensive cross actions between Adel and Karja, Ys 10 Proud Nordics introduces new mana actions along with a vast map of Åland Islands and exploration areas. There is also plenty of additional content, including new bosses, mana ride races, and arena battles where formidable foes await. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed Ys 10. I love Adel and Karja. Karja's great. Here we have some of the gallery. Here's the logo for the game, as well as just some screenshots. I mean, visually to me, this looks the same, but I'm sure it technically looks a little bit better. Not that Falcom games are known for necessarily being beautiful. I'm curious to see what this new story content will be. I just hope... I feel like with the way they're describing these upgrades, with it being like stuff like more mana actions, right, and more mana ride races, these to me don't sound like things that would be DLC. It sounds like they're improving the entire game. So it's going to be a bunch of little things sprinkled in throughout an entire playthrough. Right now, they're just announcing it as a new game. It doesn't sound like there will be a standalone DLC or upgrade path for this. And I just find that very disappointing as someone who is new to Ys. Having played Ys 10, not even a month ago I finished it. And to now have a Persona 5 Royal situation happen when, frankly, I just didn't think there was any precedent for it, and I don't think there really is. Like I said, Ys 8 on Vita, and then moving to PS4 and Switch had new content, but they've never really done this, and for them to start doing it now, I don't like it. I hope this has not become a trend for these games, because now similar to how I feel about Atlas games, there's going to be a bit of a fear in me when it comes to playing these things. Like, oh, I guess I should just wait a few years and we'll get an upgraded version and that'll be that. If it were just gameplay tweaks and stuff, that's fine. But the fact that there's new story here is what really kind of irritates me. But if you are a diehard Ys fan and you only consume Ys and you just want more Ys, it is more Ys, and that is exciting. It's just not something that I can justify playing through twice, even though I did enjoy it. There's just too many RPGs for me to play to go back to Ys 10, even though I did really enjoy it. So yeah, Ys 10 Proud Nordics, I think that was the unexpected announcements of the night. So next year, we have, at least in Japan, they have Trails in the Sky first chapter and Ys 10 Proud Nordics. But there's also a third thing they announced last night, and that is Ys Memories of Celceta, which is getting a Switch port as well. I would say this is the least substantial news of the evening because Ys Memories of Celceta is already on PS4 and Vita, and I believe PC as well. So this is just getting a Switch port. I was wondering when this would happen. This is happening in spring. We'll have to wait and see what that means for, the American audience and Western territories, because we're getting Oath and Felghana in a couple weeks, right? We're getting that in January. So this would probably be late 2025, I want to say, for America, maybe even early 2026. But I think with NIS America and now Gung Ho doing Trails in the Sky the first, I feel like they're getting better about it in terms of just getting these things out faster and faster. And with how they did Ys 10 Nordics and Oath and Felghana back to back, that tells me they probably have the English version of Celceta ready for a fall release, especially because, it's already translated, right? Like, we already have those games in America on other platforms. So I think we will probably get this next fall on Switch. And yeah, that's really exciting. The fact that we're just getting all of these games, just bring them all over, man. I know people get tired of ports and remasters, but get them all on Switch. Get everything playable on every platform. That is always going to be my go-to thing. So the fact that this is coming over is very exciting, even if it is so soon after Ys 10, as well as Oath and Felghana. I will say there's no trailer for the Switch port of Celceta yet. I don't know what the consensus is in the community for this game. If you've played it in the comments down below, let me know. I saw this post on r/JRPG that I thought was really, really funny. So it was just a post like saying, hey, it was announced, a link into a finalweapon.net article. But the only 3 comments on this thing are the best Ys with a smiley face, the worst Ys, and then the average Ys. So as someone newer to the series, let me know in the comments down below. Is it worth it for me to go back and play Celceta? I've played Ys 10 now. I'm going to play Oath and Felghana next month when that releases on Switch. Or I guess I'll probably play it on PS5, but I'm going to play that. Is Celceta worth going back to? I really have no idea what the consensus is on a lot of these games. I'm really only familiar with the modern games, I guess, right? 8, 9, and 10. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is Celceta worth going back to? That is going to do it for today's video. I'm very, very excited for the Trails in the Sky first remake. I cannot wait for that game. I do still find it very interesting that they dropped the Legend of Heroes title. I wonder if they'll do that moving forward for their other releases. We'll have to wait and see. I'm a little irritated about the Ys 10 Proud Nordic situation, but you know what? More Ys is a good thing. And then, of course, Memories of Celceta coming is exciting as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of all of this Falcom news? Are you excited for the Trails remake? How do you feel about Ys 10 Proud Nordics? And will you pick up Ys Memories of Celceta when it does eventually, inevitably get an English localized version? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo collecting content, but also whenever there is more niche news that doesn't really fit on my main channel, I will cover it here. I want to start doing more stuff like this over here, so let me know what you think down in the comments. Of course, subscribe here, follow me on Twitter @BoTalksGames, and check out my other YouTube channel, obviously. Until next time, folks, peace!